Microsoft Word Chapter 5, Projects 1C and 1D. Alright, so we're still here in our Input Devices file. Alright, click the View tab. Okay, so we're going to go up here and go to View. And then in your Views group, you're going to click Draft. Okay? B, click anywhere on the section break. Right there. Now, the reason you go to Draft View is it makes it easier to see your section breaks. Occasionally, when a section break is at the very far end of a full line of text, you can't actually see it. It disappears on you. So if you ever have that problem and you can't find your darn section breaks, you just go View, and then in your Views group, you switch to Draft, and then there's no question. Now you can see it, right? So again, if you're ever working with section breaks and you can't find it, you're like, I know I put it in there, but I can't see it. There's physically not enough room on the screen to show it to you, just due to the location. I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. It just has to do with the location. So if you just go to your Draft View, you'll always be able to see them very clearly. So all we're going to do is we're going to delete this. Okay, so go ahead and press your Delete key. You know how to do that part. And now we're just going to go right back over to our normal print layout view. Okay, so it's actually a really important thing to learn is how to find those section breaks because they kind of can disappear on you. All right, now you can see we've got a really big mess and this looks terrible. So we need to remove the column formatting. All right, so to remove column formatting, it's really kind of weird. What you have to do is you have to go back to your columns and then you turn it back into one column. So technically, every document we work on, we're actually working in one column. Okay, so we're just going to go back over to Layout, and we're going to go to Columns, and we're just going to select one. Again, to get rid of columns, whether you have 2 or you have 20, 20 wouldn't be attractive, but pretend, all you have to do is go Layout, Columns, 1. Okay, that's all there is to it. Very, very simple. All right, step number 3. Format the text in columns by completing the following steps. Position the insertion point at the beginning of the first paragraph of text below the title. Again, you never want your title to be in the columns. You saw that looked terrible. So you get below it. Click the Columns button in the Page Setup group, and then click More Columns at the drop-down list. Okay, so this is going to open up your Columns dialog box. So looking at our preset section, select 2. Step D. Click the spacing measurement box down arrow until 0.3 shows up. Okay, see this right here? It says spacing measurement. It's right here, and we want it to change it from a 1/2 inch down to 0.3. Okay, step E. Click the line between checkbox to insert a check mark. You see right here where it says line between, and this is your preview. And it's going to drop a line right between the 2 columns. F. Click the Apply To option box. Okay, so it says Apply to whole document, and we want to go this point forward. Okay, go ahead and click OK. Now you can see exactly what it did. We've got 2 columns, we have a line in between, and we never include the title in the columns. Step number 4. Insert a column break by completing the following steps. 4A. Position the insertion point at the beginning of the heading Mouse. All right, so we just need to scroll through and we find Mouse. And you see how Mouse is like down here all by its little lonesome? You can't leave a heading separated from its paragraphs of text. Okay, so we're going to click right next to Mouse. Click the Breaks button in the Page Setup group and then click Column. Okay, so we're on our Layout tab. This is our Page Setup group. We're going to go to Breaks, but we're working in columns, so this time what we want is a column break. Go ahead and hit it. Much like you would do a page break, you start a new page. Well, we told it to start a new column with the word Mouse because Mouse was lonely down there by itself. All right, go ahead and save, and then let's move on to Project 1D, Formatting and Balancing Columns of Text. All right, step number 1. Delete the column break by positioning the insertion point at the beginning of the heading Mouse, which is where we are right here, and then pressing the backspace key. So let's just scroll down. You can see the column break is here. So they say click next to Mouse and then hit your backspace key. Okay, and you backspaced over that break and got rid of it. It's another way to get rid of one. Select the entire document. Okay, I hope you know that's Control A. And change the font to 12-point Constantia. Okay? All right, did that? Did you get it? Move the insertion point to the end of the document. All right, let's take a look at what we have here. Do you see how we have this little sad piece of a column just sitting down here alone? Okay, that really does look terrible. Okay, and this can't be down here by its little self like this. So you do a Control End and you go to the bottom. Okay? Now, this is a really, really weird thing, and I can't tell you why it works. I can only tell you that that's how Microsoft created it. When you need to balance columns, you go to the end and you insert a continuous break at the end. It's not logical, it doesn't sound like it makes any sense, but I promise you it works. So I need you to remember this. To balance columns, go down to the end of the last, little nasty piece that's sitting here by itself, the last at the end of the columns, and then all you're going to do is you're going to go insert a continuous break, and it'll balance them out. Again, please don't try and make logic reason out of this. Just know that that's how you do it. Okay? All right, step number 4. Apply the green accent 6 lighter 60 paragraph shading, which is the last column in the 3rd row, to the title, Computer Input Devices. Okay, so our title is Computer Input Devices, right? And we need to shade this. So we're going to go to our Home tab, make sure this is selected, and we're going to our shading. And it's what I say, green accent lighter, that's 60, we want 80, correct? Okay, green, come here you. Try to make sure you're the right one. Green accent 6, lighter 80. Okay, go ahead and click it. Insert page numbering that prints at the bottom center of each page using the plain number 2 option. Okay, so we're just going to insert our page number. We said bottom of the page, right? And it's plain number 2. Double click on the document to make it active. Now you need to save, and you're ready to move on to your next project.